In today's class, let us learn about force and pressure. So, now in our day to day life experiences, we come across many actions like picking, opening, like opening and shutting the door in that case. Then kicking, we usually kick a ball so that it moves forward. Hitting, in case we have the cricketer who's hitting the ball. Lifting, like we lift weights. Flicking, like in this case the hockey player is flicking the ball. Then pushing, we if we have a glass door we usually push or pull these things. So now in all these actions what is happening is that we are applying some amount of force, due to which there is a change in the motion of the object, meaning the object is moving. So now instead of using all these action words, we'll make use of just two words, that is either push or pull. So in science, we define force as a push or a pull. Now we learn forces due to interaction. Here in this case we can see this, the car is also stationary and this man is also stationary. When this man pushes this car, in case maybe if it is not working, what happened? There is some force applied. Then in this case, we see these two girls. What they are doing? They both are pushing each other. In this case, we see these two girls are pulling each other. These two girls are doing hugli. So now what we can conclude from this, that there is an interaction of one object with another, which results in a force. So when can we say that force? There is some interaction. There has to be an interaction between the two objects. Only then we can say that there is force. Now we'll learn something more about force. Now in this case, we can see this is a block of wood and there are two people who are pushing the block of wood in the same direction. So now they are applying force in the same direction. When they apply force in the same direction, it will add to one another. Okay, both the forces will add to one another. But in the second case, we see these two people are pushing the same block of wood in the opposite direction. So now what will happen when they're pushing in opposite direction is that we will have to take the difference between the two forces. Now we will learn about the effect of force. So now in this case, what we have seen, we've seen this boy who's playing football, right? The ball is at rest. Now what this boy is doing, he's kicking it. When he's kicking it, what happens? He's getting the ball into motion. And what is this goalkeeper trying to do? He's trying to oppose it. Yeah, he's diving and he's holding the ball so that it doesn't hit the goal post. So what is happening is, in case the boy is kicking the ball, he is applying force in the direction of motion. And because he's applying in the direction of motion, the speed of that object is increasing. Now, in the case of this goalkeeper, what he's doing? He is applying force in the opposite direction of motion. This boy has kicked the ball in this direction. He's opposing it. He's holding it, right? So that it doesn't hit the goal post. So now what will happen? This will decrease the speed of the object. So this is the effect of force. So force can change the state of motion. Now we'll learn about the second effect. So here you can see a rubber band. First, if I just keep the rubber band as it is, it will look like this. Once I stretch the rubber band, what will happen? The shape of it will change. Then another example is of the sponge. Now sponge as it is this way. But when I hold it, what happens? The shape of the sponge is changed. Then another example is of spring. Spring as it is this way. When I squeeze it, what happens? The shape of it is changed. So now in all these three examples, what happened? Once we apply force, what will happen? The shape of the object will change. So this is the second effect, that is force can change the shape of an object. Now we learn about the types of forces. So broadly they are categorized as contact force and non-contact force. With the word contact force, what it means? The object needs to be in contact. Then only we can say that there is force is being acted up. Second example, second classification is non-contact. So with the non-contact force only, what you can understand with that word non-contact, there is need not be a contact between the two objects to observe force between them. So now let us learn each of them one by one. So first I'll take the contact forces. So in contact forces, first one we had seen is muscular force. Now as you can see by the word muscular itself, it has to do something with the muscle. Now here you can see two boys, they are pulling the string. So who will be able to pull it maybe with a greater force? Who has more muscular strength? So either one will be able to pull it. Then even here, in case this boy has to hit it, then the level will rise. Another example of muscular forces of these bullocks. What will they do? They will use their muscular force to carry a lot of difficult work in the. So let us learn what is muscular force. Muscular force is the force which results due to action of muscle. So whenever the muscular force comes, you can remember it, something to do with muscles. So now we'll learn about the second force, which is the friction. So now in case I have a ball, this is the ball, and I allow it to, I just push it. Maybe at one point of time it will come to rest. I've kicked this ball. At one time I've applied force. At one time it will stop. Now it will stop it because of something called as friction. Now what is friction? Friction is the resistance to motion, meaning it is not allowing it to move forward. We'll learn more about friction in the subsequent chapters. So these were the two contact forces. Now let us learn about non-contact forces. So in non-contact forces, first one is the magnetic force. So in that, here we have two magnets. So in this case, what you can see, both the poles are repelling each other. They are not coming in close vicinity. So in the second case, what you can see, they are attracting each other, right? So the forces exerted by a magnet on another magnet is what we call as magnetic force. The second example, the second force under non-contact is electrostatic force. For that, I will give you a classic example of if we make small pieces of paper and we charge a ruler by rubbing on against our hair, what will happen? And we take that same ruler and keep it on the small piece of paper. We see that it gets attracted. So what we are doing basically, we are charging the another body. So what is electrostatic force? the force exerted by a charged body on another charged body. Now let us see the third non-contact force, which is the gravitational. So here we know that Newton, when apple fell on his head, what happened? It came down because of the gravitational force, the force which pulls everything towards the earth. So what is gravitational force? Is the force due to which things fall on the ground. Then we come to pressure. So now in case I give you all an example, if I need to put a nail on a wooden plank, what I will do, I will have to apply some amount of force on the nail so that it goes into the wooden block. So what am I doing? I'm applying force on a particular area, this particular area. That is nothing but it is called as pressure. So what is pressure? The force acting on a unit area of a surface is called pressure. And we denote pressure as equal to force upon area.